Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Jaki Sabourin here. And today we're going to talk about the traits of a high value woman. I'm so excited. Are you loving this topic all month long? I'm talking into high value. And I just think that I can't get enough of this. It's really fun for me to put this together for you because I know that high value women really stand out. High value women are what we're all striving to be, and high value women are what men are looking for, just like we're looking for high value men. So let's jump right into talking about the traits that I have chosen that I feel create a high value woman. And I would love to answer some questions, do a little coaching. Go ahead and drop your comments right here into the comment box, and we'll have a little dialogue here. Are you loving this summer weather? I know we've got a heat wave across the country, and I'm just loving it. I'm loving summer. Of course, as you know, if you've been following me, I spent 22 years in Hawaii, so I'm a big fan of the warm weather. And also, I love humidity, but we don't have any humidity today in California. But it is really warm, and that hence the summer dress. All right, so now let's jump right in. Okay, now we're going to talk about the traits of a high value woman. Number one, first and foremost, she loves and respects herself. So important. And this is truly what defines a high value woman. If someone doesn't return respect to you, you end the relationship, period. You never allow bad treatment or being disrespected by a friend, a family, or a partner, especially not a partner. And so that's my number one. And of course, I added in there, you love yourself. They go hand in hand. If you truly and deeply love yourself, you have a high sense of self-respect. You cannot, those two cannot exist without having each other. So work on loving yourself more, and you'll gain more self-respect. That'll grow in direct proportion to how much you're loving yourself. All right, the second trait is know your worth. Super important. So your worth is not defined by sex appeal, circumstances, the past, or approvals of other. Validation from a man or anyone else. It's unnecessary, and your life is yours and yours alone. That's a woman who knows her worth. I just love that. And the big part of that I want to kind of dive into is not defined by the past or circumstances. I think those are really where women get hung up, especially if you've been through a difficult divorce or a difficult time in finances, or you just have had a string of bad luck. And that can carry forward into your worth, and start feeling like low self-worth, and start dating that way because you feel that this happened to you and it's defining you. But you have to learn to not be identified by those things that happen to us. That's actually how you get your stripes in life. It's how you grow your roots. And so even though those times can be very hard and challenging, you'll look back and go, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about life, and I'm a better woman for it. That's how I feel about my past mistakes, so-called mistakes, my bad choices, my divorce, my regrets, etc. I learned from them. That turns them into lessons. So learn from your past and create the lesson that it was intended to teach you, and move on, right? And don't let that define you. Okay, the third trait is you're grounded in your core values. So what are our core values? The values that they're the structure, they're the container that create a safety net for you to do life in. And in those core values, they really help you defend against others' opinions or harsh words about you, right? So as long as you stick to your core values, you have that integrity, the emotional honesty, the emotional intelligence, what people say about you can't hurt you. They can't diminish you. And if you're really evolved, you can see the things that people say about you are really a reflection of where their internal compass is pointing, and it doesn't have to be a reflection about your core values. However, if you get triggered when somebody's doing something, for example, I was recently out and about and was talking and having a conversation, and I started to say something and somebody cut in and cut me off. And I realized in that moment it was really irritating, right? I don't like to be cut off, but I have done it to other people. But I realized in that moment, if it's something that's really bothering me, then it's probably something that I have in myself. So I was examining, that's really irking me. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. That person, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They were just really unconscious. I know I've done it before. And then I let it go. And I let it go so that I didn't get stuck there by thinking a bunch of negative thoughts about that scenario, that person, which would take me in a whole different direction that I'm intending to go today, because I want to keep my vibration really high. So that was my third trait. The fourth trait is you are comfortable in your own skin. I love this one. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you accept yourself 100%. Self-acceptance is just right up there with self-love. And if there's something about yourself that you don't like, and you'd like to become the better version of yourself, and it's in your control, then you do everything you can to change it. And that's what really creates comfortable in your own skin. And if you don't want to change it, then you yourself and you're like, this is the way I am. This is the way I look. This is how I'm going to roll through life. And I 100% accept myself. A woman who accepts herself to that degree is really, 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 really attractive to men. And it doesn't matter what body type you have. That kind of self-confidence and self-acceptance and self-love is super, super attractive. So ladies, accept yourself. Don't wait until you're 5 pounds thinner, 20 pounds thinner, or you've got your hair's grown out, or you get your hair done, whatever that is. Those are all external. It's an internal compass that you need to make sure that you're consistently swatting away any of those negative thoughts about your appearance, your body, and you just really start to relax into your skin. Okay, now I want to remind you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the episodes, and ring that bell, because that's going to give you the notifications that let you know when I'm going live, so that you have an opportunity to receive coaching in the moment, and you'll be notified that there's a replay available for you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I recently just hit 38,000 subscribers. I am so grateful. Thank you all for following the channel, subscribing to the channel. It really is very encouraging to me to have that kind of support. It fuels me to get out of bed every day and make these videos, do my hair and get all dolled up for you, get all gussied up. But more importantly, we're reaching more women collectively. Your questions are answering questions that other women maybe aren't comfortable asking. And so I'm really, really grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of my community and my channel. All right. And so the fifth trait is you bring value to others' lives. This is similar to what I'm doing now. Something that you do is contributing to help others. And I know if you're a woman and you're watching this, you're probably doing a lot. Maybe you're doing too much, but you're bringing value. If you just show up every day, conscious and present, that's bringing value to others' life. Just go back to the situation I shared with you just a few minutes ago. By me not reacting and me responding to myself about how I was irked, I was able to process that internally and then release it and get back in balance quickly within a couple of minutes, so that I can continue surrounding the people that I encounter, my husband, the people I was walking by on my way back to my office, with a high vibration. That's bringing value to others' lives. If you just wake up every day and commit to being present, you are contributing so much, because when you're present and in the now, you're happy. Because look around, look how blessed we are to live in such an amazing country. We have so much freedom. It's really, really something you want to slow down and reflect on, how lucky we all are, how blessed we all are. All right, number 6, a high value woman is multifaceted. I love that word, multifaceted, like a diamond. And you only would admit those who value you into your carefully curated and abundant life. You are very careful about your inner circle and who you have influencing you. You don't have any time or energy for people who do not enrich your existence, period. You need to get rid of all the people that are around you, that are bringing you down, that are negatively influencing you. because life is so precious and time is not promised. It's our most valuable asset. And the people that are influencing you help you to ascend to the places that you want to, that you dream of in your life. If you have somebody telling you that you can't do it, it's not possible, they need to be moved to an outer rung, right? Because they're influencing you more than you know, more than you know. So move those people out and open up space for new women and men and friends, etc., business people to come in that will bring a contribution in a valuable way to you. Number 7, you're connected to your intuition. So when you're connected to your intuition, like I demonstrated earlier when I paid attention to what my mind was sub-vocalizing about the irking, I was noticing my intuition was urging me to move away from those heavy feeling thoughts and move back into alignment. I listened to my intuition. My intuition was correct. I don't want to carry that around with me. If I'm carrying it around with me, what it says that I have that quality in me. So when you get stuck on things, and I say, if you spot it, you got it. If you spot somebody doing something, you really can't let it go for more than like an hour, then you probably have that going on within yourself. And that's why it irritates you so much. So if you're connected to your intuition, it's a quiet voice. You'll be able to hear that inner urging saying, move off the topic. It's not doing you any great service. Remember that they're unconscious. Give them a hall pass. And that's what I did. So being connected to your intuition is going to guide you and bring peace and stability to your life. You need to be connected to your higher power, your source, whatever that is for you. That's going to be talking to you through the language of feelings, through your body, through your inner urgings. So make sure you pay attention to that. Number 8 in traits is you're well-rounded and highly aware of the world and the events around you. And so you're just paying attention to the big topics, the big things, so you can make a contribution if necessary when the time's right, and also contribute to conversations, making other people's lives, vote with some kind of authority. So it's really important that you spend a little bit of time immersing yourself in the like world topics that are going on right now. If you don't like to get too much into the news, don't listen to the news. Read publications that you know and trust, and educate yourself. All right, number 9. You speak your truth and you use your feather when you do it. You never ever hold back from speaking your truth. Now you recognize that timing is everything when it comes to speaking our truth, but if you are having a high value relationship with yourself, your truth is the most important thing. When you aren't microscopically honest with yourself, you are not an authentic person. So authenticity is a big part of this. Speaking your truth is about being authentic, but it's how you do it and when you do it and why you do it. You really need to learn the caveats of self-expression, and make sure you're using your feather gently, treading gently, because words can sting others, and you're coming from a place of wanting to be understood and sharing how you feel, but not overly insisting that somebody agree with you, but at least you have shared what's important to you, not holding that back. So important as we reach our midlife and beyond, that we are learning more and more to be true to ourselves and speak our truth with our feather. All right, so my number 10, I'm going to see, hi there, welcome. Thank you, Cece. And so does that include family? Can you clarify what that means? All right, so the number 10 that I'm going to share is that you know that you are the complete package. Isn't that beautiful? You know that you're all of these things, and that's what creates my top 10 of high value woman traits. You know you're the complete package, and I just love that. I think that's awesome, and it's such a wonderful thing to aspire. So I hope you write all these traits down and you start to look at each one and start to assess where you're falling short and what you can do to shift further into alignment in each one of these areas, so that you can call in a man that has high value. So because you're going to be a match to that, right? So I just gave you a template that you can work from starting today. And I'm going to answer a couple questions, and then depending on how long we go, I'm going to end the broadcast. Now, does that include family? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Does that include family? while I'm waiting for the clarification on that, I want to talk to you a little bit about meeting men in real life. My inner circle membership program members, we had a live Q&A group call on Tuesday, and we talked about all the opportunities and all the options that are available to you right now to meet men in real life. I'm going to do a whole broadcast in July, but make sure you start to notice that the mask mandate has been dropped. California is kind of blown wide open now everywhere I go, which is amazing. Last night, I went to the grocery store at 8 o'clock at night because I wanted some chocolate, and Lily's Chocolate now makes chocolate bars without sugar. They use I just lost the word. Anyway, no sugar, and there's a sugar substitute, stevia. There we go. And I had to have some of that, so I went over there and I had my mask. I was getting ready to put it on, and I walked in, and there was no sign on the door, and I was like, "Wow, this is fabulous!" So I'm just so excited that we are here now, and I'm in celebration of that. Start making plans this summer. Start looking in your local calendar of events. Look online. Look on the dating site. See what mixers are available. See what meetups are available. Hiking, all kinds of meetups where there's men and women. And start to commit to those. Get out of your comfort zones. You got to shake off the COVID pounds. You got to shake off the cobwebs, and you got to throw yourself 100% into dating on and offline, because now is the time. Seize the moment. Carpe diem. This is going to be an amazing summer, and you get to make all these choices to put your feet on the path that's going to lead to meeting more men that will lead to a healthy relationship by the end of summer. And so let's see. Apps like Tinder and Bumble show the member's location. I work from home, so I'm usually in the same location. I have concerns when I see men's location change frequently. Should I ask about this? Sure, you can ask about it, but what are you concerned about? I think that's something I would like to hear what your concerns are, because I would like to know what the concerns are before I can tell you if you should ask them about it. But those are GPS sites, and they're intended to let you know where people are, so that if you're out at a outdoor mall where there's fabulous restaurants and you're sitting there and you're on Tinder and you look over and you see there's somebody nearby you, you can be like, "Hey, I'm sitting over here at the wine depot, and where are you? I see you're at the mall," etc. So those can really help. And then if people are traveling, you're going to see them go through the airports, and if they're visiting, they're going to appear that they live here. So that's the thing you want to, you might want to clarify when you're talking to a man on Bumble or Tinder, like, "So do you live in San Diego? Or are you just visiting for business or pleasure?" Or you could just say, "Do you live here, or are you visiting?" Then ask him if it's business or pleasure. And so you can get that clarification right up front. You can even say, "I noticed you're, here in San Diego. Do you live here?" And if they say yes, you can say where, etc. So ask more questions, and that will take care of your concerns. And let's see. Do you disagree during a debate on a current topic with a guy you're dating? Like, how would you debate with friends in more direct or need to do with a feather? How? Okay, so I think the question is, do you disagree during a debate on a current topic with a guy? And like she's saying, how would I be with the man if I disagreed with him, and how I would be with my friends? Well, I'm the same. So with my friends, and we have different views, they will express their views, and I listen to them, and I'm like, "Thank you for sharing that." And I disagree, and I could debate it and say, "Well, here's my point of view," and then both parties are heard. I don't have friends that shut me down if I want to share my point of view, but I also don't overly insist that they have my point of view. And I think that's really important. I don't think any of us should overly insist that your point of view is better than theirs. I think that everybody has a point of view, and that's what makes our country so amazing, by the way. So I think we need to not overly insist. Now, if their point of view, you decide after a healthy discussion that it's not something that you could live with, then by all means, vote with your feet. Go ahead and move on, next him. And that's fair, right? You guys, there's too much differences between your point of views, and it won't be something that can be congruent. So that's fair. I think that that's healthy. Let's see. And so, yeah, doing it with a feather. So I would use words like, from my point of view, my perspective, what I believe. And then I always thank them. Thank you for sharing that with me. I actually believe something quite different. So my point of view is, and see how you can say that with a feather? I think that people get so emotional because they are insisting that people see their opinion, their point of view is the only opinion and point of view. And that is a fastest way to alienate people, especially people you share your life with. I think we're all entitled to our beliefs, and we shouldn't overly insist that other people buy into them. When family gets you angry about your feelings, do you go on without them? No, because your feelings are just that. They're your feelings. If somebody steps on your toe, it hurts. But if it hurts an hour later, it was already infected. So your family stepped on your infected toe. And so it's up to you to go, what am I feeling? Anger. Why am I angry? And et cetera. And then follow that to its source and do the inner work around it. And then decide how close you want to be to that family member. Family members definitely trigger us more than other people because we share history with them. And it's easy to get triggered by family members. And I'm not that close with all of my family members, although I will say I love them all, but I don't necessarily like them all. And that's me being honest, but I do love them. I really do. I love the fact that they're my family, and I love the history that we share. Some things that they do I don't like, but like their behavior, but I always love them. You know, Gandhi said, hate the being, not the behavior. I'm sorry, let me reverse that. Hate the behavior, not the being, or something like that. So that's really what I feel, that my interpretation anyway. So you don't have to like the behavior, but you could still like them or love them, whatever you want to call it. When family gets you angry, I just read that. Met a guy at a meetup and then dated him twice. On the second date, he told me that he prefers women that don't speak any English. We both grew up and live in the US. Seemed weird. Thoughts? I think it was a joke. If a man told me I prefer to date women that don't speak English, I'm thinking he'd just prefer that I just sat there and looked pretty, and I would laugh. I think that was funny. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but maybe he's got a good sense of humor and it's just not coming through. I think it was funny. That's what I got out of it. I'm reading. Why I'm pausing is that I'm pausing to read the questions and choosing the ones that are the most appropriate. Not that any ones are here inappropriate, but sometimes they sneak through. You just got to ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. Thank you, Dick. That was beautiful. For a large percentage of women, this marriage is like landing a dream job. Then a couple years later, demanding half ownership in business that hired you. Family law overwhelmingly favors women. Thank you for that feedback. But this conversation is about answering questions. If a guy sends you a message on Plenty of Fish, but he doesn't have full-length photos in his profile, how to ask for it before agreeing to meet them? Thank you so much. So you just ask. You just say, hey, Matt from Match, I didn't see a full-length profile photo on your profile. Would you kindly post one or send it to me on Google? It's fair, right? I mean, you're being transparent right up front about the expectation that you want to see a full-length photo. I think that's fair. But so just ask him. So if he gets really irked and backs up, then you have your answer on whether or not you want to go out with him. Just say it really politely. Oh, I didn't notice you had a full-length photo. Would you mind posting one or sending it to me via my Google Voice or something like that? And I'll send you one of mine if you don't have one. And so I think that's fair. Men want to see women's full length, so it's okay to ask for the same in return. Thank you, Magnetic Vortex. Thank you, BEs. That's okay, magnetic vortex. But I see you made a valuable point. But this conversation is about providing some coaching for the subscribers. And I don't see any more questions. So with that, I hope those of you who came on late will go back through and listen to my 10 traits. And I hope those support you. And please join me. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's fun, isn't it? And join me now. We wrap up High Value Month, and then we're going to move on to meeting men in real life in July. We're going to go through all the wonderful places that you can meet men, get out there right now and start to practice your social skills that you've been honing while you've been doing all these video dates. Okay. Sending you lots of love. Thanks so much for all of you who showed up live. And those of you who are following the channel, don't forget to subscribe so that you get notification when I'm going live next week. Sending you all so much love. Thanks for being here. Bye. See ya.